Are there any constituency statements by honourable members? I call the member for Chifley.
Thank you, Acting Deputy Speaker. I rise to speak to a clear case of the public's healthcare interests taking a back seat to the political self-interest of the coalition, because this month the New South Wales coalition sought to shore up the political future of one of its own, Tanya Davies, in the state seat of Mulgoa. And to much fanfare, that MP, along with the State Minister for Mental Health, gathered at a building on the edge of the grounds of Mount Druitt Hospital to announce the establishment of a new methadone clinic there. There was no sign of the New South Wales Health Minister, Gillian Skinner, mind you. She wouldn't be seen touching this hot potato, and no surprise too, because she's too busy overseeing the funding of healthcare needs to the North Shore coalition electorates by denying proper facilities to the people of Sydney's West. But this announcement in Mount Druitt signalled the end of a state coalition government campaign to export political problems out of its own seat. And as I've said previously, this is simply a case of political interest at work, because the former methadone clinic at St Mary's was situated in seats held by both state and federal levels of the coalition. Now, there is a great need for the treatment of Australians struggling with a drug addiction, and they need access to that treatment in a timely way. We need that support, and there are places in our area that are already providing this support. But what was interesting was the state member for Mulgoa telling the media that the grounds of a hospital were an appropriate place for a clinic of this type. Really? If that logic is followed, then the clinic could have easily been relocated on the grounds of Nepean Hospital at Penrith. Now, Nepean Hospital is roughly a 9-minute car ride from the location of the clinic in St Mary's. Its new location in Mount Druitt is about 13 minutes drive. So it isn't a case of putting a clinic in hospital grounds to make it easier for patients. This was about making life easier for the coalition. Now, Nepean Hospital sits in Penrith, covered by the federal seat of Lindsay, the state seat of Penrith. On Tanya Davies' logic, the clinic could have been located on hospital grounds at Nepean, and at Mount Druitt Hospital, the coalition would have given us what is high on the priority list for local health care, because GPs in my area tell me that 3 of the critical health issues in the Chifley electorate, and in fact this is a thread that runs throughout much of Western Sydney, are heart disease, diabetes and obesity. Yet Mount Druitt Hospital has been robbed of the very unit by the coalition government that was at the front line of tackling issues associated with heart disease. And that's what makes this latest decision so hard to cop, because we're told the money isn't there to maintain a cardiac unit, but money can be found to satisfy coalition political interests. I've spoken numerous times, for example, about the denial of funds for an MRI at Mount Druitt Hospital. So if you're a Mount Druitt resident who wants help detecting cancer or other life-threatening conditions, coalition takes your money away for an MRI. If you have heart disease and need urgent local treatment, the coalition stops you getting that too. It is a disgrace, and people should